Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 4 USFL predictions. So last week I had a record of 1-3, and that brings my record on the USFL season to 8-4. Starting off with this week's games on Saturday, we have the Stars hosting the Gamblers. So the Stars really need to figure things out. They're currently 1-2 on the season and have lost 2 straight games and really need to get things going back in the right direction. The Gamblers, they're coming off back-to-back great offensive performances with 30 points and 31 points in their past 2 games. Now, the key to this game is the Stars' offensive line play, because if the Stars' offensive line plays well, that's going to give Case Cookus time to throw, that's going to open up holes in the run game, and allow the Stars' offense to move the football down the field. Now, I'm not too concerned about the offensive line this week because the Gamblers' defense hasn't been great, and also their pass rush isn't great, so I think the Stars' offensive line should be able to play okay, and I have the Stars being able to score a good amount of points, and I have them being able to score enough to actually win the game in a pretty high-scoring game. And I have the Stars getting a much-needed win, getting back up to 500 on the season, as they will defeat the Gamblers by a score of 33-28. Next game, we've got the Panthers against the Showboats. So the Showboats have been absolutely awful so far this season, and the Panthers, they've been great, although they are coming off their first loss of the season to the New Jersey Generals. Now, I'd expect a bounce-back game for the Panthers. Now, both teams do have quarterback controversies. The Showboats, they could go with 3 different quarterbacks, but really, I think it's down to 2. They could go with Cole Kelly, who started last week's game for the first time this season. They could go with Brady White, who started the first 2 weeks, or they could go with Ryan Willis, who's seen very limited playing time. I think it will likely be Cole Kelly, and that would be my decision if I'm the Showboats, but obviously we'll have to wait and see their choice. For the Panthers, they could go with either Josh Love, who has started all 3 games, but each of the past 2 weeks he has struggled, or they could go with Carson Strong, who played the majority of the game at quarterback last week after he replaced Josh Love. Now, regardless of who's in at quarterback for the Panthers, they will be helped out by a great rushing attack because the Panthers have the 3rd best rushing offense in the USFL, and they also faced a Showboats team that has struggled mightily to stop the run, giving up 132 yards per game on the ground. So I've got the Panthers getting the win at home and easily defeating the Showboats, improving to 3-1 on the season with a 27-14 win. Moving to the games on Sunday, we've got the Breakers against the Generals. So this is probably the game of the week. We've got the undefeated New Orleans Breakers against the Generals, who are coming off 2 straight wins. The Breakers have been unstoppable this season, especially offensively, because they are averaging 35 points a game in the first 3 games. They have a very balanced offense, great passing attack, great rushing attack. And now the Breakers offense will face a tough test because they face the Generals, who have the best scoring defense in the USFL. For the Generals offensively, they go up against a struggling Breakers defense, and they're coming off their best offensive performance of the season, with 28 points in last week's game against the Panthers. So I would expect both these teams to try to run the football, as both teams have great ground games and running backs. And I think it could come down to who can run the ball more effectively, but I don't think that's the case because I think the Breakers have an element of their offense that the Generals don't have. And I think that is an elite quarterback and a great passing offense because the Breakers have McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who has been great so far through the first 3 weeks of the season with 837 passing yards. And now, I could see this game going either way, but I've got the Breakers remaining undefeated with a very high-scoring, fun, entertaining game in the game of the week, as the Breakers will improve to 4-0 on the season with a 34-27 win over the Generals. And our final game of Week 4, we've got the Maulers hosting the Stallions. So the Stallions are coming off their first loss of the season as they fell to the Breakers, and the Maulers are coming off their first win of the season after they defeated the Stars. So now the Stallions' defense was not very good last week. They gave up 45 points, but now I don't really think they're going to have to worry about their defense at all because they faced the Maulers' offense, which has been absolutely anemic so far to start the season. Now, the Stallions' offense, which has been good to start the season, faces a very tough test in the Maulers because the Maulers have what I would say is the best all-around defense in the USFL. So this game definitely has a few interesting matchups, but I just think the Stallions are the much better team overall, the more well-rounded, balanced team, more complete team, and I've got them getting the win over the Maulers pretty easily by a score of 24-9. So, those are my Week 4 USFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win this week's games. But I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.